Hi guys, Dr. Mel. We're busy with energy and we're going to conclude with the conservation of energy. So we started off with types of energy, we did kinetic and potential energy, we put them together to form the mechanical energy, and now we're going to look at conservation of energy. Please bear in mind that we said energy cannot be created or destroyed, and this will actually show you what that means. When we say conservation, it means it's stored. In the terms of conservation, you'll see when we've got an isolated system, which we'll see just now what it means, the total energy will be exactly the same everywhere. It stays constant. So it has to be an isolated system. Otherwise, it will not be true that it will stay constant. So let's see what's the definition of an isolated system. It's a system that does not interact. There's no interaction with the surroundings. What does it mean? That the environment or external factors is not changing the system. There's no transfer of energy or mass. Nothing gets lost. There's no transfer of energy to the surroundings. Now, what's important in terms of what we're going to do now means that there's no friction. And later on, you will start working with friction. So then it's not a closed system anymore. But now we've got this isolated system. There is no friction and there's no air resistance. There's nothing tapping some of the energy. It stays constant. The mechanical energy of an object moving in the Earth's gravitational field, so if it's near the Earth, will have a conserved energy. So when it's in the gravitational field of the Earth, we know we've got free fall, and we know that gravitation is pulling it down towards Earth. But important now that the energy will be conserved. Now there's an equation that we're going to use, and it's not a new equation. It's merely the fact that the total energy will remain constant. So what does it mean? It means the mechanical energy at point A will be exactly the same as the mechanical energy at B. What does it mean? It stays constant. Please remember, you might find that some of the information sheets or textbook write mechanical energy as EM. So EM at A or at the top or at the bottom is exactly the same as EM at point B. So it's constant, so it means the mechanical energy. Remember in a previous lesson we said it's kinetic plus potential. The sum is exactly the same at another point A and B. And we are going to look at a few calculations with that. Now, if the total energy stays constant, it is important to see how the transfer between the kinetic from the one side and potential from the one, let's say point A, is working and changing towards the other side. And there's an interesting and a very nice video that you can have a look at, and you can go and play on this website to see how energy is conserved. Now let's have a look at a clip where we're going to play the conservation of energy in terms of a real life situation. Let's take this lady on her skateboard and put her on this track. And there's a few things I'd like you to see. The first thing, right in the middle, you can see the speed chaining. And the speed is going up at the maximum at the bottom. On top of this skateboard rider, you can see an indication of the changes of energy. Can you see the blue is the potential, which is high, then it changes to green, up to blue again. All the time, it's a change between the potential energy and the kinetic energy. So firstly, have a look at the velocity or the speed. Then you can follow that on your pie chart. And then on your left-hand side, you can actually see a histogram or a graph where the potential and the kinetic energy is changing. Now let's change a few things on this specific path. Let's see, there was no friction now, so it's a closed system, no loss in energy. Let's increase the friction. Now, if we make the friction higher, can you see there's a red energy now? And it's going slower and slower and slower. Let's just take the friction away again so that you can see and compare. So there's no friction. Let's take it up to that point again. Potential and kinetic energy. And now we are increasing the friction. And immediately you can see the red energy, the thermal energy, because it's generating heat. And that slows down the skateboard. Right, let's just change the path. I'm going to put her on a path. And can you see there? There is friction. And again, the interchangeability between kinetic and potential energy. Let's take the friction away. Take her up to that point. And you can see that's happening. And we can even make a roller coaster. No friction, going up, little bit of friction, potential going to kinetic, slowing down. And have a look right at the top. These are the kind of games and situations that you can play with. Invite a friend and sit with any equation and see if you can find the answers to actually see what's happening here. And you can sit and play and understand energy much better with these simulations. So have a look at this website and enjoy playing with energy. That was fun, looking at the skateboard going down and up and down. And remember, you could actually see friction. Remember, we said an isolated system is where there's no friction. And could you see, the moment I've got friction in there, it didn't remain constant. We had actually energy being wasted and going into thermal energy or friction. So go to this website, PHET, and sit and play and manipulate and do your own simulations so that you really understand the concept of conservation of energy. So let's see how this concept will be asked. So in the first question, they're giving me a mass of 2 kilograms. Remember, I'm always writing down what they're giving me. And it's being dropped. Now that in itself says something. So when it's dropped, it has an initial velocity of 0. From the top of a roof at a height of 4 meters. So immediately I know the height is then 4 meters. And they're asking me to determine the velocity at the bottom where it has impact on the ground. So I can state to myself, I've got mechanical energy at the point A, which we could say is at the top of the building. And I have mechanical energy at the bottom of the building, which is point B. And if this is an isolated system, which it is, because in none of these calculations will we use friction. You will do that when you do work and power later on in the grade 12 curriculum. We have the equation that says the mechanical energy at the top, or A, is equal to the mechanical energy at the bottom. So what do we have at the top? We've got the equation for kinetic energy plus potential energy. I've got kinetic energy at the bottom plus potential energy at the bottom. I know it was dropped, so I know the initial velocity there was 0, so I can substitute that with 0. I know the mass, it's a 2 kilogram mass. I know 9.8, which is the gravitational acceleration, and it is at the top of the building, so it's currently at 4 meters. At the bottom, I have the mass. I want to calculate the velocity and remember the square, and I know it's right at the bottom, so the height is 0 there. And I can then say the mechanical energy at the top is equal to the mechanical energy at the bottom. You then calculate these values. You'll find this to be 78.4. This you'll find to be a half times 1, which is 0.5, and you'll now get a value of 0.5 v square. And remember to get your square root, and you'll calculate your v as 8.85 meter per second. Now there's another interesting question that they asked. They said determine the velocity. Remember, when it's velocity, it's a vector. So when I'm being asked to give the answer for the vector, I need the direction down here. So it will be 8.85 downwards. If they ask the speed, which is a scalar, then it doesn't really matter, and you can only give the quantity. Another thing that you just have to take notice of, please, guys, do never say that this is mgh is equal to half mv squared. You have to write down that value as 0 and this value as 0, because nowhere did we say the kinetic energy at the bottom is equal to the potential energy at the top. It is in fact so, because the height here is 0 at the bottom and because it's being dropped with a velocity of 0. But you have to put that into your equation. So let's see another question. A 2 kilogram ball, so I've got the mass again, 2 kilogram, rolls at 3 meter per second. Now I've got a diagram here. So the ball is coming from this side, and when it's at point A here, it's got a velocity of 3 meter per second. Then they ask me, it's going up the slope, what is the height of this B? And they said to me, the velocity at the top is 0. So they actually gave me the velocity at the bottom, which is VI, and they gave me the velocity at the top. They're asking me to calculate the H. Let's assume again, because it's not written down, that it's an isolated system, which means if it's an isolated system, the mechanical energy at the bottom is exactly the same as the mechanical energy at the top. What do we have? We've got half mv squared plus mh. GH is equal to half mv squared plus mgh. This is at the top. Remember, that was B, and this is at the bottom, which is A. So what do we have? We have a half. We know the mass is 2, and we know the velocity at the bottom was 3. And remember your square, it was at a height of 0, so that's 0. And I now have the velocity at the top, which is 0. So you can actually substitute this with 0, and I need to find the height. I've got the mass, I know it's 9.8, and I need to find the new h. So what do? We calculate this, and you'll find that this value here is 9. This is 19.68 h, and I now got my answer as 0.46 meters. Take out your pen, take out a piece of paper, and do the calculations with us. Remember, I've always stressed, draw the diagram, complete all the information they're giving, and then see which equation will help you to solve the problem. A final question. They will ask me a question like this, and you've seen this in the video. It's a roller coaster where a 2 kilogram ball is rolling from position A. Can you see it starts there? It's 20 meters above the ground, and B is not on the ground like in the previous question. It is at a height of 16 meters. And they want us to determine the starting velocity, but they gave me the velocity at point B. So I can solve this problem. It again is isolated system, no energy lost. if there's conservation of energy, we know the following. We know the mechanical energy at A is exactly the same as the mechanical energy at B. Let's complete the equation. I'm just completing my initial equation before I start substituting with values. Let's see what we had. We had a 2 kilogram mass. We know the velocity at the bottom or at the B point, but we do not have this velocity, and that's what they actually asked me to calculate. I know it's a 2 kilogram, 9.8, and the height here was 20 meters. At the other side, which was the 16-meter height, they gave me the velocity. I know it's 14. Guys, remember the square, and I have the height this side. So you've got more than enough information to calculate the velocity at the top. This height was 60. And now we do math. I found this answer to be v squared. Can you see we're cancelling that? I've got this as 392. This has a value of 14 square, which is 196. And this is 313.6. So I've got all my values there. I can actually do the math with this, and I can subtract that this side. You will then get v square is 117.6. Remember to find the square root. V is 10.84 meter per second. Now let's just quickly have a look at the initial question. They asked me to calculate the velocity. Remember, velocity is a vector. So I have to give a direction, and if you have a look at this roller coaster, it's going this way. So I'm just saying to the right. Now I have the answer. I've calculated with the initial equation. It's an isolated system. Therefore, I knew that was equal, and it's been conserved. That at the top and that at the bottom. And can you see we could calculate the velocity? So I hope you enjoyed doing calculations with mechanical energy. We have to be able to solve problems, calculate very accurately, and then very important, know the definition of mechanical energy that will be conserved. And then very important, everybody, the mechanical energy will only be conserved in an isolated system. Be careful if they give you friction or anything else that will take some of the energy. It will not be a conservation of energy. I hope you work with energy and you are energetic about it and do accurate calculations and get all your marks. Bye-bye.